Hello friends, and welcome back to another video from Lestric Food, which is your dose into the world of processed food. Now recently I happened to be in a supermarket. I know there's nothing new in that, we all do that. But then I saw some chocolates I had never seen before. They had some different flavors which I wasn't aware of, some different internal material as well. And so I thought of buying a few.
आप chronology समझ लीजिए.
And since I bought them, I'm going to make a video about it. Now with that out of our way, let's roll the intro. So before I start with the tasting part, which I am really excited about, let's talk a little about chocolate. Now here I'm not going to enlist the process, bore you with the details of the important steps, but if you are interested in it, then all you need to do is put it in the comments and I'll definitely make a video about it. So chocolate is a food that everybody likes, isn't it? I know there are some exceptions, but let's not go there. So if I talk about chocolate, then the main ingredient would be cocoa, which you will get from cocoa pods, and which after some pre-processing it is converted into cocoa solids and cocoa butter. Now both these two things, they are essential for the quality of chocolate that an industry produces. The smooth mouth coating that you will get while having your favorite brand of chocolate, it is basically due to this cocoa butter and what is the particle size of the solids as well. So everything comes into play. So next time when you are buying the chocolate, have a look at what is the amount of cocoa solids and whether there are other sources of fat instead of cocoa butter. And I would suggest, if you want to pay for a chocolate, then pay for these things rather than buying something which would have palm fat or coconut fat in it. And then once you have bought it, storing is very important. I know it is hard to ensure that you can store it at a temperature between 18 to 20, which would be ideal. Otherwise, you'll have defects like fat bloom. Again, I won't go into the details, and I'm telling you, if you are interested, then all you need to do is just comment and I'll make a video about it. And then the other thing you can look at is a fair trade logo, which will ensure that the thing you are buying, it is contributing to the welfare of the farmers which are growing it. And if you don't know what fair trade is, I've already made a video about it. You can find the link somewhere up here and also in the description. Now moving on, I found 5 different unique chocolates. And all of them, they are very different in terms of their price, ingredients, and even the thickness. As you see, this one is thicker, the other one than I have. So first of all, I'm going to tell you which one of these it has the most amount of cocoa solids, and that one would be this menthol flavored chocolate bar. It has around 64% of cocoa solids. And then if I tell you about the main ingredient, then all of these, they have sugar as the first ingredient, after which you can find cocoa and cocoa butter, depending on if it is completely a chocolate bar or it has kind of fillings, so therefore it's an enrobed chocolate bar. But among these, there is one chocolate which is an exception to this sucrose rule, and that one is this dark chocolate from Côte d'Or. It's a Mondelez brand, and it has the cocoa as the first ingredient instead of sugar. So I am thinking this one would be the most bitter one among all these 4. And then the chocolates from the Fampi and the Poulin brand, they both have around 40 grams of fat per 100 gram of this chocolate. So it means that if you eat them, then yes, your mood is going to be uplifted because of dopamine, but yeah, you also stand a risk of gaining weight. Now all these 3 bars, they don't have any other fat than the cocoa butter, but it's really disheartening to see the price I've paid for Lindt. It has, I think this one has the palm fat and this one has the coconut oil. So I really don't like it, because when I'm paying that much, I would like to get the ingredients I'm paying for. So this is something which I would say it's kind of really disheartening for me. And then I bought this one because I've never seen a pistachio filling in chocolate. So I love pistachio as well. So the second thing after chocolate would be pistachio. And then I saw the label and it has just 1.3% of pistachio. And the green color that you see here, it is because of the chlorophyll, natural colorant they have added in that paste. So again, it's just if I had paid lesser amount for this thing, I would have understood that it doesn't matter. But you're charging name for the brand, it's really not good. And then there happens to be a vegan alternative for these chocolates. So generally chocolate will have a dairy ingredient, milk solids or milk fat even, but this brand from Poulon, which happens to be an old brand, I never heard of it. That's the first time I saw it when I was looking for these chocolates. And then it has coconut solids and coconut fat. So I want to see how different the mouthfeel would be from a normal milk chocolate. So I'm gonna compare it, and since it's a dark chocolate, I'm not going to compare it with the milk chocolate. I'm going to compare it with the other dark chocolate I have. So this, I'm really excited to try and see like where the vegan chocolates have come up to. And now, before I move to the tasting part of the things, I would like to tell you that since the chocolates, they don't have any nutritional claim or health benefits written on the packages because of the high amount of sugar and fat, I'm going to refrain from sharing the nutritional information, though I have told you about the sugar and the fat. But one thing that I can tell you about is that among all these 5 I bought, the praline filling chocolate, it has over around 51 grams of sugar, and so you can sense how sweet it is going to be, because 51% of this product is sugar. And now is the time to start the tasting, but I think it would be better if I save the one with the sugar for the last, or probably the one with the menthol for the last, because I think this one is definitely going to interfere with the other flavors that I have here. So this one is for the last, and probably this one would be the second last. And I'm going to start with this one because I want to check the difference between the mouthfeel of this vegan chocolate as compared to a normal one like this. Though this is different, but still we shall see. So I think this temperature was right, but it broke, like, doesn't have that much strength. It's not very hard of a chocolate. And if you see, I don't know if you can see, there are some bits of coconut as they have added those bits, and I think there are some bits of almond. So it has almond and coconut both. Now there's the taste test. My first comment would be, it doesn't have the same mouthfeel. Like, I'm used to the one that we have in India, the Silk, the Cadbury ones. They really stay longer on your tongue, but this one it doesn't stay longer, and the first feel that you get along with tasting chocolate is coconut. And I'm not a big fan of coconut, but I won't say it's very bad as well. And there's a balance between how sweet it is, though it has around 40, so it has 40 grams of sugar and 40 grams of fat. So it is not very sweet and it is not very bitter as well, though it has a minimum of 51% cocoa. So I'm thinking it is addition of both the cocoa solids and the cocoa butter. And if it had more of cocoa solids, it would be bitter, but right now it's balanced. However, I don't like the coconut taste I'm getting from this one, so definitely it's not something I would prefer if I'm going to buy a chocolate, because I like my chocolate to give me that mouthfeel and doesn't tell me that it's coconut. It's just, I think it's a personal preference. If you like the taste of coconut, I think you'll definitely like this one. Here we have our second one, and this one is from Côte d'Or. It's a Mondelez brand. And the bio here basically means that all the ingredients, they are probably organic, and Noah, it means that it has to be a dark chocolate, so I'm hoping it will be bitter. Therefore, as I told you, for this one, it doesn't have sucrose as the sugar as the first ingredient. And this variant is Pont d'Essai, which basically means that it has a pinch of salt. This would be the first chocolate that I'm gonna try with salt. So let's see if it is going to be unique and nice. But salt in chocolate. And then I think on this label you have the Dominican Republic and Peru, and this salt, I think it is coming from this region. So they are kind of targeting a niche, trying to say that they have something which is very unique and different. Gets a luxury, unique feel as well. So again, I'm just gonna break. See, this one, it had a harder hit to it. So to break it, I had to use more force. This one definitely going to be harder than the coconut one I tasted. So it could be a difference in terms of the ingredients as well. Wow, I don't like the salt taste at all. I don't know what to say, but definitely the salt is a no-no for me. But I think this, as it has more cocoa solid, it has supposedly more cocoa butter, and therefore it takes more time to melt as compared to the other one, which the vegan one was. It just melted very quick. This one, it took more time to melt. So that's one thing. It coated the mouth as well. But I think I didn't like it because of the salt. This pinch of salt that they are saying was too much for me. I don't think so. I'm gonna be a fan of chocolates with salt as well. And now is the time for the one which I am eagerly waiting for, the pistachio one. So this one, it has pistachios, almonds, and some bits of biscuits as well. So the inner filling that you see here, it is the one which has this, and as I said, it has the coconut fat, so that was a little bothering, but I think this is gonna be sweet, so I'm going to like it, and it doesn't have salt as well, so that's nice. Now let's open it. So I don't know if you know this, but this is a Swiss brand, and they are kind of a known name in chocolates. I think Switzerland is a known name in chocolates, but even Belgium chocolates, they are nice. So if you happen to be there, try them as well. And this one, it probably has bigger chunks. So here you go. So here you can see this is the filling, and probably I'll break it a little more and try to show you. So this is the filling. Probably it is like 50 to 50%. 50% is the filling and 50% is the chocolate, if I talk about the composition of the things. You know, the weird thing is that the label says pistachio, but because chocolate is so strong and overwhelming for your palate, it is for mine, I can hardly taste it. I'm getting some crunch, but that too I would associate with almonds since it has almonds. But there's some bitter aftertaste to it. And I think it is because of the dark chocolate enrobing around this inner pistachio filling. But it is simply not something that has blown my mind, and it is also not something I would go again and buy. So I think it's one of those cases when you are really hoping for something to be nice, but it doesn't turn out that way. So that's life, we'll move on. So now it's the time to head to our second last chocolate. So it's probably the same one as the previous one I tasted, but the filling is praline, so it's like soft chocolate kind of mousse with some hazelnut. I see some hazelnut, and that's like dry crepes. Now I told you this is the one which has the most amount of sugar, so definitely it's gonna be sweet. But I like this kind of packaging. It's easier to open, nothing to tear, and then this paper, so I guess less harmful for the environment as well. But these chunks are really big, man. That's the other thing I'm thinking. So again, I'll try to break it and show it to you. So again, it's like kind of 50% chocolate and 50% the inner filling, which also looks like chocolate. This one is nice, sweet, but I was thinking it would be very sweet, but it isn't. There's kind of contrasting textures as well. You have little hardness from the chocolate, and then you have the inner soft pralines, and it's nice. It's nice. It stays longer on your tongue, so you really get that sweet sensation and the filling sensation you want. So at least this one would be, I think, worth and something I would definitely buy again if I see. So at last, one I liked.
हिपोक्रेसी की भी सीमा होती है.
Alright, so here comes the last one, and it has menthol. and it just has menthol flavors, not the leaves or anything. It's gonna be like hard bites. I'm thinking it's gonna be, because it has 64% of cocoa, I'm hoping it's gonna be bitter. So enough for me talking again. Let's open it. So this product, it seems to me as if somebody wanted to have a mouth freshener and then they also wanted to have a chocolate. So basically they mixed both of them together, because it's like in confectionery this menthol is used for that refreshment you get, no? And with chocolate it's just little weird. I would say it's just little weird, something I'm not used to. But it's also not something I hate. I could get used to it, but it is dark and I think that is kind of helping out with the bitterness as well. Like this menthol, it is kind of preventing you to taste that bitterness. So with less sugar, still balancing it out. So it has 37 grams, so it's the least amount of sugar that among all these chocolates. But it's really weird to taste menthol and chocolate together. So that's the only problem. But I would say this is also nice. So in terms of me suggesting one, it would be the praline one if you really want to have chocolate, and if you want to try something really unique, then I would say go for the menthol one, because it is definitely going to be something you wouldn't have ever tried, a different combination of flavors as well. But the most disappointing one would be the salt one. I don't know why you mix salt with chocolate, man. It's a weird taste, really weird. So now with that, it's time to say goodbye for today, and I hope you are well and you are following the social distancing norms wherever you are. And then as always, if you like this video, then do not forget to click the like button and subscribe to the channel, and in the comments let me know what topics or what products you would like me to review or share with you from this country. So I'll see you in the next one.